I cannot believe how disgusted I was at my own appearance.
Hard Rock Lunchbox.
Oh man, what is up? Where the hell is my sound? Are we starting this already? Hang on. I got it. All right. There it is. Man, let's see, that Patrick clip is 35 seconds long, and I had about 5 things go wrong in that amount of time. I am so goddamn tired. I am, not that you asked, but this is, so how the show starts now, because also when I do the Hard Rock Lunchbox, I'm trying to do the top 20, so I'm recording the top 20. By the way, I'm not doing another 2-camera shoot. Like that camera up there, I can go suck a bag of dicks, because that was so much editing and so not worth it. You guys will see that next week on the top 20. But so what I have to do is I have to set up my phone, put it into camera mode, set it up. I'm trying to change the angle so the microphone's not in my way, but now I realize with this angle, I basically have microphone shadow on my face, but there's, you know what, man? There's not much I can do. Basically what I need to do is I need to change my background so I can just be in some regular angle and just, I have to care. It's what I have to do. I have to start caring about the presentation that I come across. But, you know, when your bar is set at big, fat, sweaty slob, like, it's really, really easy to hit that bar. And, like, who doesn't like a success, right? Yeah, man. But anyway, so I set that up, and I started the Patrick thing. And I realized I hadn't changed the settings for the microphone, and we don't want to go all distorted, can't hear DJ show. We did that, and that was fun for a couple of weeks until I figured out the sound settings, so I did that. It was about that time that I also noticed that I was not recording. I just set up the phone to be a camera. I did not hit record. So then I hit the button, and then it took a picture of me because I did not have it in video mode. So yeah, it's been a good box so far, B. All right. Oh, man, just slow-moving morning for me, for sure. I did not sleep well. I woke up late. I did not prep for the box during the week, so I had to grab a whole lot of music this morning, which kind of just sets me back a little bit. I was also prepping some stuff for band practice later today. Like, just, you know, like when you have, like, an hour to do something. I mean, I actually had more than that. I had more than 2 hours to do something. But just for the sake of this argument, if you know how you have like an hour to do something and then you have like 90 minutes worth of stuff to do, that's pretty much what happened to me today. Plus, I was moving at my less than stellar speed. So I apologize to everybody, but I was here on time. Yeah. Lots of applause for me today. I actually don't have all that much to talk about top 20. Believe it or not, the world has not pissed me off all that much this past week. A bunch of little things, really. Little things will be interesting. But I do want to say that if you want to catch the top 20 this week, it is out this morning. It is a different top 20. It is basically the one where it was 2 weeks ago, so it was Ashes Day, the release of Ashes from Craving Strange. My buddy Jimmy G was in studio, so there's not a lot of footage. I do have the audio, and I tried to make it interesting by putting in some notes specifically about Team Uppity, so if you want to check that out, you might enjoy that a little bit, or you might hate it. And either way, you'll be in and out in about, I don't know, how long is it? Let me take a look. It is about 3.5 minutes long, so if you ever wanted to try the top 20, but really wanted it to be more of a top 3 minutes and 25 seconds, well, you are in luck, people. So give that a shot, and you can check that out up on Stranger TV. You can also check out, I believe, I saw that Waterbury had posted a teaser for the Ashes video. I have not seen that yet, so you might want to check that out if it's there. If it's not there, then we can just all tell Waterbury, yeah, it was really good job. I'm sure it's there. Waterbury's definitely one of the better promoters I know, so I'm pretty sure he knows what he's doing. So definitely check that out. There's another Bacon is My podcast out this week with The Godfather, who, as I posted the other day, is a wrestler so famous that even I know who he is. So if you're at all interested in that kind of stuff, check that out. I think that's about it for our housekeeping notes. And we can just kind of get on with our day. Let me just check in real quick with Team Uppity. You know how they get. Team Uppity is in the building. This is me not ignoring me not ignoring the chat, just to put it completely on record. I mean, oh, thank you. Yeah, Will It Sound Good Acoustic, also a brand new episode. Jimmy does an acoustic version of Ashes, so ask yourself, will it sound good acoustic? I mean, who knows? Jimmy's running at about 100% sounding good acoustic so far. Plus, he's now taking on a song that already sounded good acoustic, and he's doing it acoustically. So will it sound good, America? Will it sound good, Box? My money's on yes. But go check it out. I always like those. Jimmy has learned more about editing by doing those shows than anything else, so check it out, and obviously support Jimmy and local bands and all that other stuff. But I promise you it will sound good acoustic. And for the time being, it seems to be the only way you're going to be able to hear that song acoustic, because we can't seem to put any plug shows together, although I'm getting a little tired of not doing anything, so maybe in the month of July I will talk my boys into doing another Unplugged online, and we'll just kind of see how that goes. But that's about that for Strangerhood TV. Remember, all things local, Stranger, and TV. Check that out on YouTube, and you can see me weekly, Mikey and Jimmy weekly, and you can see Jimmy occasionally playing stuff acoustically that may or may not sound good, but probably will sound good. So instead of will it sound good acoustic, of course it sounds good acoustic. Ladies and gentlemen, Ashes was a layup. The chat is 100% correct. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's going to look good on TV. It's one of those deep-seated coughs. So I don't really have anything to complain about. I was going to talk about voting rights in Georgia and Arizona and Texas, but people really don't like when I talk politics. I may drift into it because it's annoying me, some of the stupid arguments I'm hearing against that. Just remember, if you're not trying to help people vote, then you are trying to keep people from voting, and you should look at the reason as to why that is. I think if you do that, you will find a slew of people coming up with various reasons that all sound similar to, we don't want you to vote because you don't vote our way, which is totally makes sense if that's what you're trying to do. But I'm not going to talk about voting today, at least not right now. So a couple things, and they're both related to me being, how would you say, I believe the French call it fat, disgusting blob. So I'm not sure. I don't speak French. But two things. So my beloved HERricanes, they played this past weekend in super duper hot weather. We played a local game. We played against a local team. We played against Elwood. Elwood, if you don't know, is basically a couple towns over for us. So it's cool. Like, I'm friends with the Elwood coach. He's a nice guy. And I like him, and I like his team, and his parents are okay. They're not one of the parents. Again, I don't know what this line is, but it seems to be like kind of a North Shore, South Shore thing on the island. It's like North Shore parents tend to be like respectful and like want the girls to play and play on and stuff like that. I get to like South Shore teams, and they're like, no, man, this is the Olympics, and, you know, we're going to kill you and all that other stuff. And I don't know if it's a Trump thing. I don't know if it's a politics thing. I talked about it last week when I was talking about Lynbrook and the lack of class basically in the Five Towns area. That's not just exclusive to the Five Towns. You know, it seems to be a South Shore thing. But Elwood's a North Shore town. They're right by us. There's no fights. We don't have arguments with parents when we play North Shore teams. Like, I'm not just being like, you know, North Shore racist or South Shore racist. I'm just anecdotally and historically, that's the deal. The teams we fight with are South Shore teams because they tend to be dicks. Sorry if you live on the South Shore. It's not my fault. And if you do live on the South Shore and you listen to me, why don't you check that for yourself and just let me know if you find it to be true, because it is. And then we can just agree on that, and that'll be cool. So, anyway, we played Elwood. Elwood is a second-place team in the division. They are very good. I think I've mentioned this a couple of times before. Like, we are now in the Premier Division, which is the highest division you can be in Long Island Junior Soccer. And a couple of years ago, like we were in Premier forever. We used to practice twice a week, and we used to have a trainer, and we would work really hard. And then I definitely mentioned this, so I'll keep it short. And then at some point we transitioned into, listen, we want to just play soccer kind of recreationally. Like, we want to be a good team, but like we don't want to train 3 times a week and stuff like that, and have like 2 or 3 trainers with accents. We want to play basketball. We want to play lacrosse, and God bless them, they want to play badminton too. And that's cool. We lost our real hard-ass trainer because we couldn't work it out, but also a lot of my team was threatening to kind of not play anymore because it wasn't fun. So we picked up a trainer that I knew would be kind of our speed, and he's great, but he's not available for us anymore, so we just have not had a trainer for the past couple seasons. And that's fine. My assistant coach and I have been doing this long enough that we can take a look at a situation and we can design drills for the girls to work on, but it's nothing hardcore. And because of that, we don't belong in the top level of soccer for Long Island. I mean, it makes sense, right? If you're not doing the work, you don't deserve to be there. The fact of the matter is, we don't do the work, and somehow we ended up being there anyway, which is bananas to me. But the point is that we're playing teams in Premier where most of the players only play soccer. Some of them play on multiple teams and play 3 to 4 times a week with multiple trainers. Like, they are really, the soccer is my life kind of thing. And we don't do that. We don't do that at all. But this is what was cool about the Elwood game. So Elwood, listen, chat, I have always been prejudiced trainers with accents. I laugh my ass off every time somebody is screaming at a 13, 14-year-old girl in some usually Australian or Irish or British accent. It's bananas ridiculous to me. I laugh. And I have a player on my team who just, the moment somebody starts yelling at their team in an accent, like, she just mimics them, like, perfectly. She's got a great ear for it, and she just starts talking like that. It's the most belittling thing, and I love every bit of it. But anyway, so we're playing Elwood. So when you're playing a Premier level team, every now and then they take stuff really, really seriously. And in the case of Elwood and in New Hyde Park, they actually have equipment to record the game. They have a big giant tripod and a giant pole, no phrasing, and the camera goes up on top, and it's not really an aerial view, but it's like a side aerial view into the field and stuff. And we played that against Elwood, and my HERricanes found the video online. I got to tell you, we were watching it last night, and Charlotte was there, and I was like, hey, man, see how you're open? See how you're not open right there, and see the open player and stuff? Like, it was really educational for me to, like, be able to see up from above, like, oh, yeah, like, oh, that's it. And I saw a couple things, like, from a different perspective, because it was the other side of the field that I was on, from the other side of the field that I was on. And I got to see some other things from perspective, including one of my kids just violently, like, push one of the other players, like, oof. Like, it wasn't card worthy because they were, like, both fighting for the ball, but man, it was not pretty. But to be fair, I am proud of the girls, because my girls used to get pushed a lot, and now they just aren't. They're between 13 and 15 years old, and they have basically had it with you. But it was cool. But the one thing I did notice that's not soccer related, and honestly, I'm a little mad at the chat for this and the entire world, is I got to see myself on video for the first time since Thanksgiving. And I'm not saying it's anyone's responsibility per se, but I think at some point, somebody should let me know when my boobs are big enough to be able to see in video from across a soccer field, yeah. Like, at that point, it's time to switch over to a muumuu, maybe, or maybe just not show up in public, or go full elephant man and put the bag over my head. I cannot believe how disgusted I was at my own appearance. Every time I would just blob my way, or Jabba the Hutt my way onto frame just to, sub the girls out, it was just like, oh my God, I cannot believe this dude's not on a motorized cart in Walmart with, something stuck in his tits. So, yeah, it's not your responsibility, chat world people, but, like, you could slip me a note and just be like, hey, man, you want to just, like, try not being so fat once in a while because you're grossing everybody out. So that sucked. That sucked a lot. But it also brings me to one of the more disgusting things I've done in a fairly long time, and I want to get your take on it because that's what we do here on the Hard Rock Lunchbox. So I am back to intermittent fasting, which we can talk about sometime if you want. It tends to work fairly well for me. It doesn't seem to produce the results I want, but in terms of me, like, cleaning up like how I eat and where because a lot, like, I'm at rehearsal a couple times a week, so, like, a lot of times I eat late at night, and that's not good for you. So I'm just trying to, like, I do good with when I have, like, boundaries and rules and stuff like that. So that's why I'm doing it. But so I'm working right now at an 8-hour window, and I was going to rehearsal, and I was running late to rehearsal on Tuesday, so I was just trying to eat a little bit before rehearsal so I would have the energy and not be starving by the time it was over. Not a huge deal. But I carry with me almost at all times in my cars a bag of, like, smokehouse almonds. I really like almonds in general. I love smokehouse almonds. I like other kinds of almonds too, but the smokehouse ones, they have a lot of flavor, but they're kind of salty and stuff like that. So I was actually driving, because I was late, so I'm driving to rehearsal. I'm eating the almonds while I'm doing my vocal exercises, which I can't think of much stupider thing. Like, I guess if I was blindfolded, that would make it stupider, but, like, kind of in the arena of stupid things, this is one of the stupider things to be doing, but yet something I do kind of all the time, and so does it even matter? But I was doing that, which is funny in and of itself, but because I was doing my vocal exercises and because I was eating salty almonds, yep, salty nuts for those of you playing at home, I ate all those, and then I was done. Like, I didn't overeat. Like, I didn't eat, like, an entire bag. I just had a bunch of them. But as I got to the Meadowbrook and I'd finished my vocal exercises and finished the almonds, I had basically, that cake hand where you get, like, all the... It wasn't quite what you get from white popcorn or cheese jacks or something like that. Like, but it was definitely more than just the potato chip stuff. Like, I couldn't get it off. So I did what every classless American does, and I start licking my fingers trying to get it off. But I had just eaten, 100 salty almonds, and did not have any saliva in my mouth with which to get the salty almond paste off my fingers. So I took a sip from my blue water bottle, which you guys have all met, I'm sure. I took a big drink of that, and then tried to lick my fingers again. It didn't help. I did take a drink, but it was just so salty, and I was dehydrated and stuff like that I just didn't have. So I just decided to ramp it up a little bit. And this was the part that I thought was worth mentioning to gross everybody out. So I take a big sip from my water bottle, and instead of swallowing the water into my mouth, I just hold the water in my mouth. And then what I proceed to do is stick each one of my fingers, one at a time, into the bath of water that is basically in my mouth, and trying to swirl it around, and trying and, like, loosen up the almond salt paste that way. I want to tell you that it actually worked, but the simple fact that at least 4 or 5 cars passed me and looked my direction while I was doing that was enough to embarrass me just a little bit. But was not enough embarrassment for me to stop what I was doing. And I think that's I think that's the point of today's top 20. Like, just be yourself, do you boo-boo, and and do your goddamn best. But, like, man, check yourself when it is getting really bad. So, what did we learn here today? Your host is a disgusting animal that does his vocal warm-ups while eating almonds, and subsequently pastes his fingers and dips them in his mouth bath on his way to rehearsal, and can take up an entire frame of a soccer video because he is so amazingly, gigantically, hugely fat. And I can't even blame this all on COVID, because COVID, you know, depending on who you ask, has been over for a year, or it's been over for a month, or it's not even over yet. But the truth is, I have not been going to the gym, so that's on me. I haven't been like eating other people. It's not like, you know, we're cannibalizing anybody, but I don't know, man. Just older, slower, sicker, fatter. It's like that old, like, we can rebuild him, but, like, we can't rebuild me. That's really the problem. But I am hopeful that those two events will constitute some version of a rock bottom for me, so that I can start moving up again. Stop banging into the sides like Kyle Kinane tells us. Like, maybe this is a rock bottom. Maybe it's my wake-up call. It didn't help me wake up any earlier this morning to get to the gym, but tomorrow's another day, and then there's another day after that, and then after that is another day. But that's neither here nor there. That's coming up. And it's more of a looking for my banner year, let's say. And who says it better than that? And my boys in A Day to Remember. So here's to another banner year for all of us here on The Box, but especially me.